Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to MALT. We are now back in finals weekend up for the second match. We have a lot left tonight here. We got RhymesWithMash with CharlisMadCut, which is on the second half of finals weekend. Face off against Azon. Make two grand finals.
Exactly. We are Baguette and Sparky for you today. And yes, your mic does sound a bit weird, Sparky, though. Oh, but the match actually already has started. Those might be the warm-up. Really interesting choice, I guess, for Charlie's. I know the mapper, French one. Yeah, so an Alan warm-up, which makes sense. Charlie's has the advantage on this skill set, I would say. He's a really good one. Nice artist also, Alcest, big banger. I would definitely recommend, if you don't know anything about the band, to go listen to them. Really an amazing band. So this match, as you said earlier, is the final, one of the final loser brackets for now. The other one is Silweska Els versus Xon, and in the winner bracket we have Axel versus Nanban Dusty. So if you haven't followed so far, we had already the other loser brackets match, which resulted in a victory by Xon. Yes, 7-1. So yeah, that's your casual updates on the brackets. So this match will decide who will be joining Xon for the, let's say, the grand final of the loser bracket. I don't know exactly the exact terms.
Yeah, then we can call that second half of finals weekend.
Yeah, it's just finals then. Fine. Yeah, your mic is fixed. Perfect.
Alrighty, fantastic. Alrighty, like you were saying, we're done with the warm-ups. I think MASH opted not to have one this go around. I think they're in a bit of a hurry this weekend. Wanted to get this over and done with, and we get the rolls out of the way. CharlisMadCut going with the 46 here.
And the shout-outs to Poulet Furtif for the map, of course. And yeah, already the external delay ban on Charlie's side and LN2 on Rhythm side. Understandable, definitely.
Yeah, very understandable. I think as the pool reaches the end game, we start to see a lot of very particular skill sets get removed from these kinds of pools. Getting rid of Rice 1, very understandable. LN2 as well. Anytime we see Surf Chew in a late game LN pool, not enjoyable.
Play it. Yes, definitely. Especially when you play against Charlie's. Like, he can. This guy can play every April, like the map April.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, he's like really good LN player. So understandable, yeah.
Definitely paying the respect there in terms of the ban. So getting that out of the way, looks like it's gonna be Rice 5 to start things off here.
This really good song.
Yeah, Igor.
Always so funny to hear. But this as the title says, it's an edit of the map that has definitely some interest to find. We'll see how both players handle This third choice of rhythm.
Yeah, you can expect to imagine a lot of really interesting snaps, a lot of
Oh
grease no
yes,
flam tech stuff, especially when it comes to
double
like,
tech.
yeah. And as we dive on into it, it looks like MASH actually holding on to a little bit of an accuracy advantage through this opening section. The map does cross over that 3-minute mark with a considerable distance, so these early drops, if you do find them like MASH did, aren't going to be the most damaging when all is said and done, but that is going to hand the lead over to CharlisMadCut for the moment as the accuracy starts to equalize just a little bit here, within about 0.1% at the moment. And there goes Charlis as well, finding the drop in response. Gonna give MASH the lead right back, and with that being a lot closer to that 400 combo cap, you imagine once the song begins to pick up once again, they'll be able to extend this lead just a little bit here.
We will see how both players will get those, for example. But for now, yes, MASH with the slight lead.
Yeah, just a very marginal lead at the moment. Charlis, despite finding that drop a little bit later than MASH, doing very well to maintain that gap between them. But oh, the spacebar anchor, that was
really difficult. Yeah. Oh, double drop on this. Oh, he's quadding. Okay, interesting.
Very interesting section there indeed. Those long anchors, not the longest in the world, but just a numerous amount of 50 really and 100s.
Yeah.
Maybe just column rushing there, another drop as well. Not traded back by MASH this go around, but that tiny section there was enough to put a considerable distance between the two players. About 2%. The accuracy is coming between the two of them to the tune of about 40,000 points in favor of MASH at the moment. But there's still half the map to go. Anything can still happen, but that next drop isn't going to help matters here.
Yeah, already up more than half of the map. It's going to be really difficult for Charlis to get back after almost like 50k now. Score difference.
Yeah, and it is unfortunate.
It is then for now a really good pick from MASH, who knew he had the advantage in technicity, let's say.
Yeah, for sure. So as we make our way into the last quarter of the chart, a pretty considerable lead for MASH to work with. It's going to take a lot for Charlis to get back into this, but anything can still happen. This ending is pretty hard to get through, but if you've been able to survive this long, you might be in the clear with this much of a lead.
Yeah, and I really think MASH has the capacities to play it. But we'll see. Pressure also can play a big role here.
Yeah, for sure, but
this is really hard to act for as a example.
Yeah, but both players are doing incredibly well to make it through this section. MASH finds the drop. They're going to wait to see if that was a Bancho miss because there was a bit of lag spike, but Charlis responds in kind, so no harm, no foul at the end of the day. But as we make our way through this ending, the drops are going to come out even more, and so it's kind of written in the sand there, but MASH picking up their first point here to make it 1-0.
Yeah, you could see the sad one combo at the last note for Charlis. And yeah, two misses. Really nice score from MASH. Being really consistent. Only 2 misses. No 100. No breaks. Oh yeah, they're both players discussing the
the long jack in the middle.
Jack. That's where precisely you want to count in your head where you are in the song.
For sure, because it's very easy. Like everybody saw there. On the left-hand side, what happens when you hit it right? On the right-hand side, what happens when it all falls apart? And that was basically the difference maker in that chart at the end of the day. And now it is going to be up to Charlis to find a pick in response. Wouldn't be surprised if the LN picks start to get thrown out here.
Oh yeah, of course. I have a little ID.
Yeah, it's going to be LN4, Smile Senegai coming out here. Or Agonite, rather.
not surprising, of course. Charlie's looking to get the points where he can mark them. This match is sponsored McDonald's. I'm not sure.
Let's see, we get the plugs in here when we can. I'm not sure how our actual sponsor would feel about that, but that's a conversation between Surf and the executives. But with that being said, gonna get into the second map here. Charles' first pick, an opportunity to maintain parity, or an opportunity for Mash to get the first break point here.
That's where the real deal starts, because you don't want to give the lead to someone. Either player wants that gallery points, and for now everything's fine. Except for Mash now, but life is life.
Spoke too soon, and Mash finds the first drop. But still actually holding on to the accuracy advantage between the two players as we make our way through this introduction. Gonna be able to make some inroads in this lead that CharlisMadCut has built up here, if they're able to maintain it.
Yeah, with those funky patterns. Those are kind of unconventional, as we could say.
Yeah, for sure. Just really testing your comfort with the columns that you're being asked to press down.
And Charlie's losing accuracy on this section. The points going for Mash now. Score flickering, actually.
Yeah, it feels like every 300 that gets thrown out from Mash does put a little bit of a damper in this attempt to try and claw back this lead, but they are up over that 400 combo cap. They are about a full 0.5% clear of CharlisMadCut. Usually it takes about 2 to 3 tenths to overcome a singular miss, and the fact that it was a slider break does help Mash in this regard, but it's still anybody's game as we make our way into the back half.
Yeah, the ratio of Mash is... I mean, I cannot really see it, but just by looking at the judgments, we can clearly tell that Mash is having the great ratio here.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
In OD5, it plays a big role. The score will be different based on that.
Yeah, it makes you feel a lot better going through some of these harder sections. The fact that you can kind of get away with the releases, but Mash actually finding the next slider break.
Will the score...
but Charlie's...
No, the score will not get back for Charlie's breaking also.
And now this opens up the window of opportunity for Mash. Once they get back over that 400 combo cap, they're going to be able to start pulling away this lead because of the fact that they've held on to this accuracy lead for so long. And you start to see a trend over to the left-hand side. Last third of the chart still left to go. Not out of the woods just yet, but definitely the biggest cushion they've had to work with so far this entire map.
Exactly, like both players have handled those patterns. Mash finding another break. For now, Charlis did not break as much as him. Will that change the score at the end? It's really close, and Mash, Mash not looking. And few seconds in the map remaining. Both players completely breaking here. But Charlis with 3k advantage in score.
Is there enough time? There's only an eighth of the chart left to go. Charlie finds another break, but Mash finds the return. Not going to be able to take advantage of the opportunity presented to them. Oh, actually, that was a client break.
It's not finished, actually. Yes, the score is going back. Flickering. It's so close.
Mash calls that 400 combo cap first. They're going to be able to take the score lead back. Is there enough time for Charlie to do anything about it? Mash needs to hold on here. It's only about less than 1,000 points between the two players. It is 0.2%.
Wow.
And Mash manages to take it by 1,059.
Wow.
The ratio coming in
Oh my
clutch.
God, ratio. That's what I was talking about. Although Charlis did not break as much as Mash, the ratio, and like it's literally double the amount of regular. That's huge.
For sure. Charlie doing very well to hold on to combo for as long as they did, but unfortunately at the end of the day, Mash is able to get up over that 400 combo cap just in the nick of time to sneak back that lead. Was just enough, and they're going to go for hybrid 1 here.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. So
I would have expected that Mash sticked with really hardcore Rise maps, but we'll see. We'll see.
For sure. This might actually be a bit more of an exploratory pick because of the fact that they've picked up that breakpoint. It does
Yes.
allow them the opportunity to go for something a little bit riskier. If they can
Right.
capitalize on this, then that's one less potential pick that CharlisMadCut has to work with later on in this match. So a bit exploratory, not a lot on the line here for Mash, but you definitely want to be able to press the advantage that you've been given if at all possible. And with this strong start from them, we'll see how it goes from here.
Yeah, this map is interesting for both players, I think. And we have those rush patterns still having a bit of a little break for Mash. Definitely showing less consistency for now. But will the accuracy get him back? We'll see. Those rise patterns are definitely something, but both players are able to hold on to them.
For sure. Tripped up on the single note stairs, but able to handle the doubles very well. And then transitioning into the core stream right after. Still able to hold on to the accuracy lead, but for right now, Charlis holding on to the score lead by virtue of still holding on to their FC. This late on into the chart, considerably shorter than the last two picks. And Mash finding up another slider break.
Again. It's gonna start to be complicated. The map is not that long, it's only 2 minutes. The lead is precious. And 7k now. That's a lot.
For sure.
How it gets.
And still we continue on transitioning into the last quarter of the chart. At the moment, CharlisMadCut still holding on to the FC here, able to keep Mash at bay despite being at a tiny bit of a deficit in terms of accuracy, but Mash not able to hold on to the combo here by any semblance, and it's going to help extend this lead for CharlisMadCut, who makes it through that next double stair pattern going into these impact chords. And as the chart starts to come to an end, they do finally find a break. Unfortunate to find the choke
losing
there.
The FC, unfortunately, yes.
But what's more important than the FC?
That was an interesting pick from Mash. Unlucky for him, it was not a good idea at the end, but I would say it was still a strategically good point.
For sure. So unfortunate to give away that breakpoint right back, and it gives CharlisMadCut an opportunity to equalize here. Does bear reminding that this is a best of 13 now, so first player to 7 points will be moving on. So on we go.
I have a clear idea of what Charlis will pick, but I will not say it. Yes.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be LN1 here. At least if I'm reading the name right. Yep.
Yeah. Clearly, always going for the long notes map. But we've seen that Charlis was able to actually build combo and have more consistency than Mash on some like double stairs patterns and stuff like that. So this is an information for future Rise picks, I think, that cannot be denied.
For sure. I think both these players have shown that they have the ability to kind of throw down on each other's preferred skill sets. It's just a matter of who can keep that consistency up just that little bit longer. I mean, the previous LN pick came down to the wire, and the hybrids went in Charlie's favor by a pretty considerable margin when all was said and done. It'll be interesting to see how Mash can hold up on LN1 here. You imagine Charlis is going to be a lot more comfortable with this very slow BPM chart.
This will definitely be a question of breaking. Unfortunately, Charlis starting the dance by break.
Yeah, it's very easy to get tripped up on the structures, but Mash actually trading the miss
trading.
back.
But it seems like Charlie's miss was more impactful.
Yeah, and a second one to boot there. Going to drop him down into that 98% range. Going to be able to build back up. It is still early goings in this chart, and because of the fact that it's so lightly patterned in the early goings, it's going to bring you up by considerable amount as you continue, but Mash holding on to the advantage for the moment. Neither player has actually crossed that 400 combo cap just yet, which is incredible to say.
Yeah, there's
on a chart like
few
this.
notes.
Yeah.
Especially in V2. Of course, in V1 we would be talking about something different, but in V2, like the combo builds really slow on L maps.
Yeah, it really pushes you to maintain the combo at all costs because of the fact that you lose so many points just being under that 400 combo cap to your opponent that Prolong stays under it while your opponent is able to keep above it. Both players actually trading. No harm, no foul. The trade only helps Mash in this regard. They were able to keep these misses a lot cleaner, about a full % ahead, but that next ladder break's going to hurt now as they start to make a bit of a dent in that lead. Still 5 digits ahead, but quickly closing down.
Yeah, the lead is really shrinking, but let's see if both players manage to play this last quarter of the map.
Yeah, right now Mash
Those
really
tricky patterns.
Yeah, some awkward releases, some very long LNs you need to watch out for. Very easy to just kind of let your fingers slip off if you're not too careful. So a quarter of the chart left to go. About 0.5% separating both players, but Mash still holding on to the score lead, about 13,000 points to their name, despite the fact that Charles is over that 400 combo cap. Going to start chipping away at it before too long if Mash isn't too careful. Just accuracy drops at this point could start sending it back over to the right-hand side, but remains to be seen. Ooh, and another one, another couple.
Breaking, but the map is almost over. Another break from Mash. Oh, he lost totally the control over the consistency and on the ELNs. The score going back on Charlie's favor.
Yeah, the course just being a little bit too much to handle. Just really getting lost in those transitions, being their undoing, and despite leading for basically 90% of that chart, CharlisMadCut brings it back at the end to make it 2-2 now.
Oh, that's really unfortunate for Mash. Maybe some kind of brain fault. It is brutal. Those maps, they don't seem like it, but they really are brutal. Especially with tournament pressure and tournament settings. It's another thing.
For sure. I mean, just consider the fact that that was 3.5 minutes. So that song was a minute shorter.
Okay, of course. Rise 2.
Gonna go into our...
It's really hard. 4 minutes Rise map. No fun allowed.
Just a gauntlet stamina test for both players. Immediately coming off of that very long LN chart, you get to kind of wake up a little now.
Exactly. Let's see how both players handle that. Mash needs to find a little bit more consistency. He has been growing a little bit for now, but I'm sure he can get that back on this map. And let's go.
Yeah, just 202 BPM chord stream to start this off. Basically, gonna be this for a majority of the chart. Very little breaks to be found. And Mash actually finding the first break.
Finding the first break, yes.
Not answered back, but still able to hold on to the accuracy advantage, which is keeping them just narrowly ahead at the moment.
You see here how accuracy has great value, and Charles finding first break here.
Yeah, staircase run not treating them too well. Mash picked up a bit of damage in terms of their accuracy, but able to hang on there. Not able to on the first LN anchor that appears right afterwards, but still keeping their nose ahead for the moment. Charlis not in a position to really capitalize on that one there. As we make our way into the second quarter, now they're going to be able to, though.
Break.
And on we continue. It's just these singular drops here and there from both players at the moment. And MASH actually finding a couple, gonna put a damper on that score lead at the moment.
But it's crazy how his accuracy is still better than Charlis one, even though he broke so many times.
He's just able to keep that UR bar just that little bit tighter.
Exactly.
And that's spacebar LN.
I think that was many misses, actually.
Yeah, just all the outer column runs.
Yes.
Taking Charlis for a bit of a ride there as we take stock of this situation. It's about a full % in favor of MASH, 10,000 points to their name as well. As we begin to end the first half of the chart, still about 2 minutes, 10 seconds left to go here for the players. They're not done just yet.
No, everything can happen clearly.
And like we saw in that previous LN pick, I mean, it's not over until it's over. You can have one really bad section to swing things all the way back over. And we're now beginning the back half. Charlis finding the drop in the transition.
MASH managed to build a pretty great combo here, which allowed them to just go on with the map.
Yeah, every now and again, as the patterns get a little bit denser, both players finding a trade there, and they're going to be able to take a look at their scores.
That's stressing. That's actually not a good thing for both of them, because MASH knows he's ahead, and Charlis knows he's behind.
Yeah, it really becomes a question of who handles the pressure better in that double-edged sword situation.
But the 18k lead for now. With only 1/4 of the map, and Charlis getting another break. Unfortunately, it's starting to get a little bit complicated. I don't know if this is possible to get back, but I won't say anything.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over. MASH finding the break in return there, but still hanging on here to the tune of about 20,000 points. Have seen stuff like this slip away before, so Charlis not out of it just yet. They just need to hang on to this combo as best as they can and hope for a collapse on the other side, but it is a lot easier to navigate, not a lot of holds to speak of, and
this is like the ending patterns for now. I don't think MASH will lose so many points.
Yeah, it's just a repetitive structure here. If you can handle it the first time, you can handle it the second go around, and the transitions are not too hard if you've been able to make it this far. So maybe stamina at the end of the day. MASH finding another drop here, but too little too late, and MASH hangs on to make it.
This end was not really good for MASH, but he managed to get the good leads.
Yeah, that's why you keep your hands
on
in the car until the end of the ride. And MASH makes it 3-2 now, so
yes,
it's essentially a best of 9 if you really think about it. Those first 4 maps were canceled out at the end of the day.
As long as Charlis go on and get his LN points, the match will just continue as long as there's no breakpoints inside. But what is the next LN map for Charlis? That's the real question.
I would imagine.
Okay, so right?
So there's gonna be LN5.
We'll see, we'll see. So far, LN maps, although they feel better, I guess, have been a little bit difficult. Will this one be the difference? The odd one out?
Yeah, for sure. We'll see. I think right now. a reminder to people, filling people in on the situation with LN5. Might shed some context to the chat going on in the IRC. This is actually a replacement map for the original LN5 that you might have seen in the showcase last weekend. There were some issues found with the previous map, and this is the consummate replacement.
Yes, it was done a little bit in rush, but at least there's an LN5.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the poolers have their preferred
Of
picks,
course.
and
There's
this
always
was-
backups for
yeah.
all pools.
So on we go here. And I imagine it's going to be a similar story to the other LN picks. Mash is going to find the first break, which
Yeah,
has
really
been
good
also
at, though.
As I was about to say, is like
Alternates.
they've been doing very well to hang on to some very high accuracy on these LN charts. It's really just those singular drops that come out here and there, and really bad sections once the chords start to get a little more dense that they really start to find their hiccups. And Charlie's just kind of cruising along. Not the highest not the highest accuracy, but able to pull up some pretty consistently high combos to keep themselves ahead whenever they do find their drops here and there. And this one, not a very long chart as well, just 2 minutes flat and 0.3% the difference between the two players, and a miss to Mash's name.
And the lead of Charlie's lead actually getting smaller and smaller. But Mash finding the breaks. Will he FC? Question mark?
Remains to be seen. They're doing very well to make it through some of these denser sections. A lot of reverse shields coming through there, and able to navigate it very pristinely. Still holding on to the full combo here. Last third of the chart still left to go. It is still about 0.4% in favor of Mash, but not holding on to the score lead here. A couple of drops to their name, putting a bit of a damper on their overall score. It's really going to come down to if Charlie's can hold on to this FC, because Mash is right there behind him, ready to swoop it up.
Well, now both players have correctly handled those really tricky patterns, like LN's inside, let's say, LN's. That was really tricky. And the lead going to Mash at the end of the map. This is really close, actually.
It is going to come down to the wire. Watch these last couple of
Wow.
releases. Oh, and Mash takes another LN breakpoint from Charlie's, able to overcome the 3 misses to their name by virtue of their ratio and take it by 1,100 points this time.
The accuracy really digging for Charles. Unfortunately, I've seen him recently being really, really annoyed on how he wasn't able to act correctly anymore. I can see that. But nice FC though.
For sure. Can hang their hat on that at the very least, but we're going to go into another long chart here. 3.5 minutes once again. It is going to be Area 11, Rice 7, the pick for Mash to try and capitalize on the breakpoint this time. Not going to do their experiments with the hybrids anymore. I think they learned their lesson from the first one.
Definitely not trying to do funny stuff. Just going with the good Rice. Another stamina map, actually, I would say. It's as they say in chats, it's Rice 2-2. And we're on. Starting here, you can see Charlie's act with like the 96. That's like typical problem.
Yeah, I think they were complaining about the OD of this chart. It is 8.5, so it does punish you for being a little bit lackadaisical with your technique reading through some of these patterns. It does put a bit of a damper on your accuracy, and Mash being the beneficiary of that, despite both of them holding on to their FCs at the moment. Mash pulling away to the tune of about 8,000 points just based on that accuracy alone as Charlie starts to build up again.
Both players holding the FC for now. But Charlie's, 8K points for Mash, just due to accuracy and mainly ratio, I would say, visually.
Yeah, but can easily get wiped away if Mash isn't too careful. They have been a little bit less consistent overall in this match, and there is the first break.
I'm afraid that even those breaks will not have him lose his advantage for now.
Maybe not for now, but if they find another one there, that is going to instantly have their score here. And as we make our way into the back half of the chart now, Charlie and Mash starting to trade once again. And I don't know who came out the beneficiary in that trade. I think Mash came out on top just ahead, but finding another break.
Oh, this is starting to be really difficult for both players. But again, accuracy carrying Mash out of this for now and off of the map. 7k lead.
Yeah, Charlie finding a break on the transition into this tiny bit of a break section. Sure, you get those very nasty bursts coming through, but both players able to navigate it relatively smoothly. And as we continue on here, Mash starting to pull away here by virtue of being over that 400 combo cap once again. Last third of the chart still left to go here. As 12,000 points the difference between the two players. Still all to play for, not out of the woods just yet if you are Mash, but Charlie finding a pretty nasty drop there in the build-up. Mash trades it back.
Oh, another one. Oh, a third one. Dangerous, dangerous. We've seen him struggling.
Yeah, but Charlie faring a little bit worse for wear in the exchanges. Both players down to 97% range now, but
this is starting to get weird. Quarter of map left. And Mash comfortably sitting on 17k lead.
Yeah, just overall able to keep those misses a lot cleaner than Charlie. You see that UR bar is just kind of centered with the occasional blips here and there, but Charlie finding the breaks on the transitions now. You imagine the stamina might be a little bit pulling towards the end. And as we make our way into the last eighth of the chart, accuracy discrepancy once again building up to about a full percent. Mash really putting their foot down on this chart and making it about a 40,000 point lead when all was said and done. Some pretty nasty exchanges in the middle portion, but they're able to successfully capitalize on that breakpoint this time around to make it 5-2.
Already 5-2. And it's starting to get scary for Charlis and Mash getting those good sweet points. What's the point difference? 7-7. I'm not sure if I want to know.
For sure, Charlie stepping off for a second, probably wanting to restart their client. Don't blame them. It's been a little hiccupy lately. Hopefully everything turns out all right.
Okay, we have the total. Both players taking a small break.
I mean, let's be real. They've played a total of 7 maps so far.
Yeah.
Multiple being above 3.5 minutes, one even crossing that 4-minute mark. I would not be surprised if their hands were starting to feel it a little bit as we make our way into the last portions of this match.
And it's starting to be scary for Charlis because he only has one Ellen left, and then he had to go hybrid. I don't think he is able to try the rice one.
Maybe rice 3, but with the accuracy of Mash and some of the other players in this tournament can show off on core jacks, that's probably a bit of a risk that they don't want to take. So there's maybe 3 points up for grabs for Charlis at the moment. LN2, Hybrid 2, Hybrid 3. But do they round out the LN pool? Or do they try and get their points in the hybrids and leave the LN for last? They might not have too much of a choice there.
We'll see. He'll have to pick as soon as he's back in the match.
Yeah, we can sit here and speculate all day. Next thing you know, they're gonna pick a rice chart or something just to completely throw us off.
I highly doubt that.
I mean, stranger things have happened, but
Sure.
Yeah, Charlie's really, really feeling the strain right now. Probably in a bit of a rock and a hard place in terms of what to go for to try and keep themselves in this match. They know they have to get a breakpoint off of Mash to restore parity, but they also need to be careful because of the fact that Mash is able to kind of go toe to toe with them on the LNs. Mash offering the friendly suggestion of Rice 6 as an option. Our referee going with it. It's gonna be hybrid 3.
No, I was afraid.
Yeah, there was, like you said, there's no shot that Charles would go for a Rice pick willingly. So it is gonna be slow dancing in the dark here.
It's gonna be another banger, another good map.
Yeah, I think
Well,
our
Charles-
referee getting bamboozled a little bit. It happens.
I would be screaming with stress if I had to play this match precisely. With 5-2 and just me alone, me and my computer, that would be me screaming.
Fair enough. I'm interested to see how this one goes. We saw a bit of a preview as to how the hybrids would go with Hybrid 1. I think that was probably Charles's most convincing win over Mash in this match so far. Be interesting to see if they can replicate that performance on Hybrid 3 now.
The map is really short, so you'll have to be really careful, and especially since most of the time the patterns are really light, with a lot of bursts. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's really going to be these... Oh, both of them trading on the exact same note. I was about to say these 3-column inverses are going to be a nightmare to read through, especially if they inundate a couple more columns. And you see Mash being the one finding the fall here as we make our way into the second third of the chart already. Like you said, not a very long one when all is said and done. So misses are going to be amplified much further.
Yeah, as Testing have been saying, like only 1k total combo, it's not a lot. Let's see for the chorus.
Yeah, things starting to pick up here just a little bit. Patterns get a little bit more technical. And Charlie's going to find the drop on the Rice. Mash hangs on the LN. Not traded back, but they do eventually. And the lead shifts back over to Charles for the moment. Last quarter of the chart still left to go. It's about 7,000 points in their favor. That was a pretty nasty drop from Mash. Not answered back here.
I don't think he can get that bad, except if Charles really missed the last section.
Oh, very nasty build up here.
Oh yeah.
And both players handling it very well. This doesn't bode well for Mash, and Charles is going to be able to take it. Oh my god.
That was really close.
What are those ratios?
Oh, and the ratios actually... Did Charlie just fix his hack?
What? Huh?
Wow, that was a really close point.
You breathe a different way at that ending, and it swings. That is incredible. The fact that the margin tightened up that much.
Yeah.
Bit of a heart and mouth moment for Charles, but able to hang on to take their point here to make it 5-3, and Mash wasting 0 time to go for Rice 3 here.
This will be a different style. Different ambience, for sure. No time lost for Mash. He wants to get the point back.
Yeah,
We'll
wants
see.
to make this.
Maybe Charles will be able to, I don't know, overcome. The Makiba buff, of course, getting activated.
Yeah, as we begin to build up here into the first drop. And both players basically tied through this introduction. I dare not say anybody has any semblance of a lead right now because it can shift in a matter of moments, as it is a double-digit deficit for the briefest of moments before it builds back in favor of MASH. Able to handle the transition, and Charles finds the first break. Does get traded back though.
Interesting, Charles again with the little break, and unfortunately the accuracy not really following. Although MASH is breaking a lot.
But Charlie finds the break on the transition. MASH answers it back.
Expect this.
I wouldn't expect it either. You'd imagine MASH being a little bit more comfortable on these rice picks so far. The density might be a little bit too much for them, picking up a couple of missteps here and there. And Charlotte's going to be the beneficiary of that. The accuracy discrepancy being only 2/10 at the moment.
The call jack bounce will be handled. Oh no, MASH actually breaking on the little patterns in the middle.
Yeah, a little triplet there, just tripping them up a little bit. Very uncharacteristic, but it does give Charles a big buffer to work with now. 7,000 points to their name. Last quarter of the chart still out to go. The quarter stream begins up once again here.
Interesting, last quarter of the Mac, but Charles finding a break, giving the score lead back to MASH. Another one he needs to end.
Oh, but MASH answers back. It's going to come down to the end. Charles doesn't want to hang on to it though. Oh my goodness, they're trading back and forth.
Oh, in the 4K lead.
Oh, MASH, please, for the love of God, stop ghost tapping. You're freaking me the hell out here in this last eighth of the chart. It is 0.3% the advantage for MASH as we make our way to what is going to be a very calm ending, you would imagine. Yes. No funny business allowed here. They crossed that 900,000 score, and MASH hangs on. Oh my God, I almost literally jumped out of my seat. These people are going to give me a heart attack one day, but MASH hangs on, makes it 6-3 match point situation on the cusp of punching their ticket to face off against Kazon in the second half of finals to see if they can secure a spot in grand finals.
This is, again, let's say a showcase on how accuracy is really the core of tournament gameplay. Like, yeah, sure, combo is really important, but if you don't manage to hack as much as your opponent, you might just lose on that. And for now, Charles being the victim of this, but we'll see. He has a last opportunity to take a point, and I think we already know. Yes, of course, LN3.
Yeah, unsurprising there. Gonna be able to round out the LN pool now.
From the Turkey.
It's almost that time of year again for certain regions of the world where they become relevant once again, but we'll see if Charlie can stave off elimination here. Keep this match going for at least one more map. Force MASH to earn that final point.
Here we are.
And as we make our way through this introduction, MASH actually faring probably better than they were expecting at the moment, hovering around that 99.7 mark, keeping themselves ahead of Charlie despite both players holding on to the FC, but that can change in an instant. Once again, we have seen some wild swings on these LN charts, and this one's probably going to be no different. Oh, just navigating the density, those anchors, not giving the players too much of an issue.
I was not expecting MASH to hold on that good.
No, absolutely not. Like, you would imagine on a chart like this. Yeah. But there's still plenty more to come. Not out of the woods just yet. We're about to cross into the back half of the chart now. It is about 10% between the two players. It can swing in an instant. Who is going to blow first in this Archer's game of cat and mouse? And it's going to be MASH finding the first break.
But that might not be enough. That might not be enough. Charlie's act again being worse. The score is only flickering where Charlie should theoretically have the lead, the clear lead. It would be really sad if Charlie had to FC but still lose the points.
I mean, it's happened once already. Does MASH have enough left in the tank to pull this to their side and keep it there? There's a third of the chart still left to go here.
Unfortunately, yes. 3k lead. Although
it is so fragile.
Well, it is really, really fragile. The score is so close to flickering.
It is the fact that MASH is finding these occasional 200s here and there, dropping them down to about 0.2% of the lead. They still have the burden of that extra break. Charlie's still holding on to the FC. They still have it within them to pull this back. They need to start climbing in terms of accuracy. There's an eighth of the chart still left to go. They are running out of time. The window of opportunity is closing rapidly. Is there any final changes here at the end? You got to be able to hold on till the end. Does MASH have enough to hang on here? And they do! They managed to secure that 7th point to punch their ticket into the second half of finals weekend, knocking CharlisMadCut out of the tournament by a score of 7-3.
Really unfortunate for Charlie's the FC on that map that gets him out.
Yeah, that was a great run on that chart. Just unfortunate to not have the ratio. Those 200s really do come back to bite you at the end of the day. But congratulations to MASH, making it to, what is this now, top 6? I lose track in the losers bracket, but they're not done just yet. I think this is top 4 because
this is top 4, yeah.
Wow, the final 4 before us now. It is going to be Kazon going against MASH, I believe, at 4 UTC tomorrow. And then, of course, the marquee matchup of the weekend, Accelerix going up against Nanon Band Dusty tomorrow at 15 UTC. So, plenty more action to come. We're already halfway done with finals weekend. It's amazing how fast it can fly when you are having as much fun as these players. Hopefully they're still having fun with the pools getting as hard as they are. But Baguette, do you have anything else left to say here?
No, I would say congratulations to Charlie's for going that far to the bracket. Congrats for MASH also. Congrats to both players. And yeah, I would say stay tuned for the 2 next match of the weekend. And see you soon.